All right, here we are. Week 2 power rankings. We skipped week 1 because it was messed up thanks to
Yeah.
certain people. I'm not gonna name names, you know. But yep, here we are, week 2. Yeah, let's just start.
So, yeah, pretty crazy week.
Yeah. So number 16. Do you want to talk about your pick for number 16?
Yeah. So we both agreed on this.
Yep.
Cap. We know he has potential, but
Yep.
it seems like he hasn't really been playing very well. Not really
Yeah. Yeah. It seems to
prepping too
me.
much.
Yeah. It seems to me
Definitely
like
some
he's not
questionable
really.
plays in there as well.
Definitely. It seems like he's not really fully into it.
Yeah.
So, I just can't give
He
him
def-
anything higher than what he's at right now.
yeah, he can definitely move up. We've seen him beat really high-ranking teams before.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
and
still really early on. He
for
can
sure.
dig himself out of the hole.
He just needs to get his seeking going. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, man.
seeking, you know, he just needs +1 on seeking. That thing can sweep. It did fifty
I wish
percent.
Baton Pass was allowed just for this team.
We need a seeking sweep. It almost happened
It'll
week
happen.
1.
It'll happen once. You just gotta play around it really well.
But yeah, I just can't justify putting Cap any higher than anyone else. He's 0-2. I don't remember his differential, but it's like -11, -12, or something like that.
Yeah, he's
Um,
-11.
yep. So that's a pretty easy pick for number 16. All right, on to number 15. We both agreed on this one as well. We put Mr. Zen Dog Horse down here. So I kind of put Zen down here. He's 0-2 as well. And the teams that he faced weren't excellent. They weren't super high ranked teams, and the losses he had weren't great. He definitely should have won. I think he probably should have won against Quick, but kind of choked there in prep.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, not being able to hit that Nihilego with his Superior and saving Superior as his win con. That was probably not
Yeah,
the
I
best
agree.
decision
Second
there.
Donphan
Yep,
early too.
yep.
Letting it take a ton of damage was really hurtful.
Mhm. So yeah, I think at least for him, he's been busy with other stuff. Once he gets a little more focused in the league, I think he'll probably crawl his way back up because he's got a decent team.
Yeah, we've seen what he can do.
We just
He's
haven't
just kind of
seen.
been preoccupied as of late,
Yeah. We just haven't
focusing
seen
on this bingo
anything
league.
yet. Exactly. All right, Zen, get off that bingo, and let's see you win some battles.
Yeah, man.
All right, on to 14. We just keep agreeing. I promise we didn't do this together. We did this separately. It just happened to go the same way.
Yeah.
We both put Keg at 14. He does have a win, correct? Or no?
No.
No, he still doesn't have a win.
He
And
does not so far.
yeah, and his battles haven't looked great. He lost
Yeah.
to
Um,
Draco week 1, and he lost to um
he went against Vitz this week.
he went against Vitz and lost to Vitz. He almost made a comeback this week.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a team, I mean, I know it sounds like a broken record, but a lot of these bottom teams we've seen perform well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just hard early in the season because you can go 0-2 very easily and
Yeah.
still win the rest of the matches.
Yeah, and I definitely think his
Um,
team struggles with taking hits. Like he does have
Yeah.
Vaporeon, which is a really good wish passer, but like his Mons can't take enough hits to be able to get wish passed into. So he's having some trouble with that. Um,
Yeah,
A
I
couple
think.
good setup
Let me
sweepers.
see what I said.
I think he's got a couple good setup sweepers that, given the chance, can do some big damage, but like they can't hold up against a lot of these other teams, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I think he's been playing really aggressively, which I think honestly fits his team
oh
play
yeah,
style well. But
definitely. Yeah.
definitely the first game, you can see it didn't work out too well.
No, and if he's facing any team with any sort of like bulky offense, it's gonna be excuse me, sorry. It's gonna be tough for him to break through. Because just he's gonna
Yeah,
need
for
that
sure.
turn to set up to like be doing any real damage, or he's gonna have to run Scarf or something like that. I think his team would definitely benefit from some good free agent pickups. If he can
Oh yeah, for sure.
mend some of those
Um,
holes in his team, I think he can definitely claw his way back up to the higher rankings, and I think he's still got a shot for playoffs.
oh, definitely. I don't think we can count anyone out at this point.
No, definitely not. Except for maybe no, we can't
Yeah,
count
don't
anybody
say
out.
it. Don't say
I'm not gonna
it.
say it because it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say it. It'll just make him mad. Um,
Yeah,
all right, on to 13. Once again, we agree. I promise
yeah.
it's gonna change
This
soon.
this is the last one, or at least for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we both put Bulba here. He is 1-1, right? He is.
No, he actually is 0-2.
Oh man. Okay. Jeez, I definitely because I remember putting a 1-1 team below an 0-2 team or something like that.
Yeah, let me see. I definitely didn't completely go off win loss, but
Yeah,
I
but
I do like the way that Bulba's been performing
I think he's been
early
doing pretty
season.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
Obviously he hasn't
definitely
gotten the wins
um,
yet, but
yeah, he'll get some wins.
yeah, I think
Um,
his team is really good. It's just he's not able to close out the games. Um, I
yeah, I think he has a lot of mons that people prep hard for,
yeah,
and then doesn't kind of play aggressively against that.
right. Yeah.
Um,
Um, what else? What else do I have to say?
trying to pull up his team.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some problems in prep for him.
Yeah,
That
I
he
think
needs
that's
to
part of
work
it as
out.
well.
Um, I can't think of any specifics off the top of my head, but I think his team can really synergize well if built correctly, and I think
Yeah.
he had a
One
pretty
thing I guess
tough.
I could say is like maybe some more surprise factor
Okay, yeah, definitely. And he
because a lot of
we know Bulba's pretty good at surprise factor with
for sure.
extreme speed,
Just like I was saying
Endeavor,
before with the moms people prep a lot for, like
right?
Coco and Entei, for example.
Uh-huh.
Um, like they usually run basically the same set
Yeah. Like
every week.
I'd like to see a
And
special Entei. That would be fun.
yeah,
Choice
actually
Scarf
that could
Eruption
work as well.
at Bulba. Choice Scarf Eruption. Let's see it.
Oh hell yeah! It's coming week 3.
Week
Whoever's playing
3.
Bulba week 3.
Week 3 is on the way. All right, on to 12. So you put yourself here in 12, and I put Hit. What you
Yeah,
got to
I
say for
think I could have
yourself?
swapped um, my 12 and 11
Yeah, I think they're pretty
partially for
interchangeable.
just the indifference sake, and partially I don't want to put myself above a team that has a better record so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely out of the 0-2 teams, I feel like I would be the highest one.
Okay.
Just because I've lost, it was just like 0-1 victories both times to both
Right.
really high ranked teams.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, um, your start to the season has been a lot harder than Hit's. So
Yeah,
I
I
had to
agree.
put you higher than him. Um, I think, I think for the original PRs, we trashed on his team pretty hard, but I
Yeah,
think he's been performing pretty well given the fact of his weaknesses. Um,
yeah, definitely
and
having a
yeah, and
6-0, even though it was the bottom team, I think that's still.
that's still really good, yeah. And I think um, did he lost to Logan week 1, right? But it was close.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it
just
was it
being
was like a 2-0 or a 3-0, I think.
yeah, just being like competitive with Logan, even though Logan had a Flygon, which was probably like one of the best best mons against
Yeah,
his
best answer
team.
to basically everything he had.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I think he definitely deserves to be up here higher than some of the other players, even though his first 2 weeks were a little easier than
Yeah.
some others. So yep. So now we got it flip flopped. I have you up here. You have Hit at 11. Yeah, I basically just put you above Hit because your start to your season was um really tough, and
Yeah.
it's still gonna be pretty tough. Um, and yeah, I think losing 1-0 to two teams and not having Jirachi come through when you need it
Yeah.
is rough. So I think
Yeah.
your luck
I
is probably gonna turn around, and you'll be
hopefully have a decent rest of the season.
yeah. I think that's probably gonna be the case. So I couldn't put you much lower than this, even though you're 0-2.
Yeah. Um, Not much more to say about Hit. I couldn't put him above any of the other 1-1 teams, even though he might have a higher differential, just because it seemed like Cap kind of threw the game away. The differential could have been, 1 or 2 months closer, but
Right.
that
Yeah, I
didn't
think that game could have been a whole lot
didn't help
closer than it
much.
was.
Yeah.
So yeah, not much more to say here. Let's head on up to 10. So you put Draco here, I put Logan here. Um, I think I put Logan down here because let me think. He who did he play the first 2 weeks? He
He
played
played the Ghosting Boys this
Ghosting
week, and he
Boys.
played Hit the first. Or he played, yeah, Ghosting Boys this week, Hit first week.
Okay, yeah. So we have that loss to the Ghosting Boys, and we have like barely a win against Hit, who was pretty low ranked back week 1. So, um, I put him down here just because his team hasn't been performing as well as I had like hoped for. He does
Yeah.
get his Celebi next week, right? He gets that
Um,
transaction for Star
I
Raptor.
I believe so. Yes,
So
he
we might
traded it pretty early on.
yeah, so we might see that change his team dynamic a little bit, and we'll see
Yeah, that
him.
definitely patches up the hole.
Right, yeah. The Star Raptor wasn't adding much to the team anyway, so
Yeah.
I think we'll see him, move up a little bit more in the next couple weeks. We'll see, but he also had a like I don't know, facing the Ghosting Boys in the first couple weeks is tough just because you don't know what they're gonna do. When you're facing God and you're facing God on, like, you never know what to expect. It's tough, but
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough team this season as well.
mm-hmm.
For me, the next 2 or 3 teams, you could mix and match, and I would not disagree with you.
Yeah, it's tough to
I put
differentiate right
Draco
now.
here. He had a good win the first week. He had some wild sets, and I was like, damn, this guy is on board. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's just crazy prep or just luck.
Mm,
Um, I think the reason I put him just this low is because his game against you the second week was kind of nasty. He didn't have a lot of ways to deal with a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
At least prep wise.
Yeah, I think I definitely could have put him a little bit lower just because um the team he beat week 1, Keg, has been pretty low on the rankings for a while, so that's not as
Mm-hmm.
impressive as of a win, and he did lose a little badly to me, so
Yeah.
but like you
Definitely. I
said,
think this is going to be a wild card team this season.
right, yeah, I think he can
Uh,
definitely turn it around. I know talking to him after the game, he wanted to make some plays, but then second guessed himself. So we'll see if he
yeah.
starts to make some of those plays and not be as safe as he was this week.
Yeah. Definitely. That'll help him out a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right, on to number 9. You put Logan and I put Quick. What you got to say about Logan?
Not too much to add about Logan. I liked his win first week. He saw what he had to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he played. And his opponent couldn't do very much about it. The loss this week wasn't too good, but it was a really strong team in the Ghosting Boys.
Definitely.
I believe there might have been a little bit of luck as well, but I don't think it affected the outcome too much. It might have maybe taken away a differential from him, but
Yeah, I think originally I thought that Metacham had the game won, but I don't think that was the case. So
yeah,
it would have been interesting to see how it played out without that miss. But that game was just a messy game in general. A lot of hacks, a lot of missing, a lot of all that stuff. So it was a weird game to watch, definitely.
so you have first undefeated team
I have the first undefeated team. I put
ranked.
Quick at 9. See, I'm still not a big believer in the Krabby train.
Just
He's
gotta believe.
he is 2-0, which is, it's good. But
Yeah,
he
very
has
nice
beat
start.
he has beat Zen, and the second week he beat
Zen.
the first week he beat Zen, the second week he beat
Oh yeah, you're right.
Boba.
They mixed me up with the order
Yeah.
they played.
He beat Boba second week, correct?
Yeah, that was his second week game, but he played it first.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 wins, which is good. He hasn't played a team that's very high ranked yet, so I
Yeah.
can't trust it completely. Definitely I've seen in the games like versus Zen and versus Bulba, there were definitely a couple misplays. Some pretty
Yeah.
big misplays, definitely. Was still able to pull out the win, so we'll see if he keeps this win train going. Like, I don't know. I'll jump on the Krabby train if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the crappy train,
Number 8.
it hurts to put him. I wanted to put him top 5. I really did.
Yeah.
I do agree. Some of the plays have been questionable, but his prep has been better this season.
Yeah, his team is a lot better this season.
Yeah. Other than not having a fast Mon, his team is really solid.
Oh yeah.
I think an FA or two can help that out a lot.
And he has ways of raising that speed with
Yeah.
rock polish Lando.
He has a bit of speed control he can work with.
It would be nice if he got Webbs on that team. That would be really nice.
Yeah. Are there any good Webbers left? I don't know.
I don't know. Slurpuff is taken.
Actually, Slurpuff might still be around.
Yeah, so that might be a good option. But he has Florges, which is a far superior fairy. So
yeah, I agree.
There's
some decent stuff in tier 5 that I can do it. I don't know.
It would be nice to have more Webbs users in the future, just to spice it up a little bit. But But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here.
So yeah, I picked Draco here. You know, these middle three, 8,
Yeah,
9,
these
10,
last couple teams are
they're
really close.
yeah, they're so close. It's hard to decide so early in the season after just 2 games which team is definitively better than the other. You know, they haven't had as many head-to-head matches that you can check. Like, oh yeah, Draco beat Keg, but Quick lost to Keg or any of that stuff. So, you know, it's hard to choose.
That's true.
Draco
I think
definitely
around
had a
like
good
week 7 is when it kind of evens out. No one moves more than like 2 spots or so.
right, unless somebody has a huge win over a high-tiered player, high PR player. But yeah, I think Draco had a good win week 1, a solid win, which was good. And then, you know, he had a tough loss week 2, but um, I don't think it was the worst loss that could occur. I think he kept it pretty close until near the end. He definitely had me on the ropes with that calm mind Latios. Latios. That could have that could have done some big damage to my team.
Yeah, that thing's kind of scary.
Definitely super scary.
Yeah, definitely when I think he gets a little more confident in his plays.
For sure. Yeah, like
you definitely get a lot more wins.
Yeah, definitely. So on to 7. Oh, we did the same thing again.
Another agreement.
Cahoots down at 7. It saddens me to see Cahoots at 7, but
yeah,
you know, I had to do it. I had to do it to him.
Low, but
yeah, I mean, he is
after
1-1.
His first loss in like 48 games, I just
it doesn't feel right. But
yeah,
you know, he lost, and that game wasn't super hexy, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid win on Venmu's part.
Yeah, so you know, I couldn't put him over Venmu, and I couldn't put Venmu over some of the other guys who are in the top 5. So I had to put Cahoots down here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think
definitely
his team
very scary team.
Oh yeah, super scary.
He's obviously. I'd be very surprised if he didn't make playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Venmu just had a good team that kind of played against this team's weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely having a Scizor versus a Ninetales is just, you know, really good. Like that's like its number 1 counter. Because you get that priority steal, and it's got U-turn for Hoopa. It does big damage to Araquanid. So I think Venmu's team matched up pretty well against Cahoots' team. And Cahoots wasn't really able to use webs, use Aurora Veil as effectively as he probably wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good few key mons, but
yeah,
matchup always comes into play.
Oh,
but this team will definitely move up.
I think so as well. Yeah, we'll have to see how they do throughout the next couple of weeks. All right, on to 6. We have a difference here. You put Vitz, I put Venmu. What do you have to say about Vitz?
I didn't think there was too big a difference between these two teams' performances. I just really liked Venmu's performance this week.
Okay, yeah, that's legit.
Especially with the weaker team before his FAs.
Yeah.
I think differential-wise, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, I think they're similar as well. But
Vitz has definitely played very well as well.
I think he has too. Yeah, he almost beat me week 1, and he had a solid win week 2, even though he was on the ropes a little bit with that Dragonite. But you know, I think he had the win pretty solidly from pretty early out in the match.
Yeah, I definitely think he goes into a game with a game plan and just plays it out.
And he doesn't have to
really differ much because he has such a strong team.
Yeah. And I put Venmu below Vits, just because of that loss to AR didn't help, and Cahoots. I still don't believe in Venmu's team. I'm sorry, I still don't
Even
believe in it.
post FA.
Yeah, even after
Let's
those
see.
FAs, I don't think his team improved that much, but we'll see.
I'd still say it's an improvement. I'm kind of sad he got rid of Pelipper, to be honest. I
Yeah,
really liked Pelipper with Megasis.
and I
Just thought
like
that was a
yeah, and I like Xploud. I think Xploud puts a lot of pressure on people, but um, Linoon also puts a lot of pressure on everybody, just because at any time there could be an opening where Lanoon just comes in, sets up a belly drum, and just wins the game. So
yeah. Linoon's nasty.
Lanoon is very
It's
terrifying.
it's not a mon I can see him bringing every week though.
Oh no, yeah. If somebody has something that walls it a little bit, um, he might be scared away from bringing it,
Yeah,
and there's not always an opportunity to be able to set up a belly drum.
yeah,
So
definitely.
so there's that, and I don't believe that Clauncher is a real Pokemon. So
Hey, it's Clawitzer.
oh my bad.
I think
it,
Clawitzer's kind of cool.
it's
After we
cool,
got rid of
but
Xploud, it's
yeah,
kind of like a nice special wall breaker. It gets really good coverage. Mega Launcher is cool.
yeah. I feel like it's just a slower. It's slower water type, not as good Xploud, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see how he
It'll,
uses it.
yeah, he never know. It might get U-turn. Does it get U-turn? I
I
don't
think
know.
it does get U-turn, so that helps a lot. But um, who knows? We'll see. Venmu usually is able to use some mon that
Yeah,
nobody
he
uses,
can make
and
stuff work.
right.
Definitely a fan of the lower tier mons
Yeah, for
as we've
sure.
seen in the past seasons.
Oh yeah. So on to 5. It's basically just flip flopped. Like as you said, these two are really close. It's hard to differentiate. I edged Vitz out a little bit. You edged Venmu out a little bit. I don't think there's a ton more to say about these two. I think
Yeah,
they
not
both have
not
pretty good
too much. I think we
starts to the
both
season.
basically explained what we thought about the other in the last slide.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think they've both had really good starts to the season, and we'll start to see them separate a little bit as the season goes on.
Oh
Probably,
yeah.
maybe. Who knows?
All right. Then I think this is our last agreement.
Yeah. So yeah, we both put Don here. I think he's done. He's 2-0. He's done pretty well, but I don't think his schedule has been that tough so far.
Yeah, I actually think he has the same wins as Quick.
He does.
Uh, he just has a little bit higher differential.
Mm-hmm.
I think his wins have just been a little more convincing, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah,
Definitely just having Mega Maw on the team is just scary as hell.
Yeah.
Every team is going to prep hard for that.
that thing wins games even if you prep hard for it. So I think I think he can. I think he stays up in 4, just because
Yeah, I just
his
couldn't
team is more
justify any higher
terrifying.
just for the teams he's won. He's had good wins for sure.
Right, but his schedule hasn't been that tough yet. So
Yeah,
we'll see how he does
see what
against
he's,
some
what he's
else.
made of.
Yeah, some of the other higher ranked teams might put him down, but we'll see.
We'll have to see.
All right, so on to 3. You have God and the Ghosting Boys, and I put Arb.
Yeah, I think our top 3 teams are the same, just in different orders.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Only reason I put the Ghosting Boys the bottom out of the 3. So I think they've had the easiest scheduling.
Yeah.
So far.
Yep.
I mean, they had Cap first.
Yeah.
Basically gave them that 5-0. Lions, they beat who? Logan?
Yep.
And that was a kind of hacksy match.
Yeah, it was.
I just think so far I'm not going to be able to put them above, but
Okay, yeah. I can see that. I put Arb down here. You know, he won a close game against Venmu week 1, and there was the controversial confusion. And then he beat you week 2, and that was a 1-0. So he has had a tougher schedule at the beginning, but none of his matches have been super convincing. So
yeah, I can see that.
I definitely think he's still getting used to his team. But I don't know if I can put him above the Ghosting Boys or myself quite yet. So we'll see how he does next week.
Right.
On to 2, you put me, and I put the Ghosting Boys.
I put you second.
Yeah.
Between you and the top team is another one of those cases where it's really close.
Okay.
Just the case of only being a couple weeks into the season.
For sure.
Also, I saw that you put yourself first, and I didn't really want to circle jerk.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound super fun. And, I mean, my schedule hasn't been super tough either, just like God. I have played a couple lower ranked teams.
You did have Fitz, who's a super solid player.
Definitely, yeah.
It was a really close game, but it was still
it was like
a convincing win.
3-0 or 2-0?
Even though it was a 1-0.
Oh, it was 1-0?
I think he played out the end game well.
Okay.
Knew what you had to do to win.
Yep. Yeah, so I put the. Oh wait, did you have something else to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say your week 2 win was a pretty nice win as well, especially after Draco coming off of week 1.
True. Yeah. He was definitely on the front foot a little bit. So, yeah. So I put God as number 2 and the Ghosting Boys. I think their team is really good. I mean, is pretty good, but I think they play really well, and they come into the match with a specific plan, just like you said for Vitz, and they execute the plan very well, and they have options for different threats that everybody would bring, but also I see some pretty big holes in their team. I'm not going to point it out because I probably have to play them eventually, so I'm not going to give away any secrets. But
it's definitely from playing Bulu Tran, you kind of see like what people like prep, like how they prep to take advantage of the weaknesses that your team has.
Right.
I definitely think that team will play better than I did. They have a lot better support mons to complement that core.
Yeah. I definitely think though, if you do run Bulu Tran, you rely a lot on Bulu.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry. If you do run Bulu Tran, you rely a lot on the Bulu. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I think they're still one of the top teams, even if they did have easier schedule at the beginning. So on to number 1. You have AR Brown and I have myself. Oops.
I guess I'll talk about Arb first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on about yourself for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Similar stuff to what we said. Out of the top few teams, I think AR has had the toughest schedule.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a little bit of luck, but it wasn't anything super game-changing. Even moving forward, he has a super balanced team.
Yeah, for
He's still getting used to it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit different from what he's used to. I think it's a little bit bulkier than what he usually runs. So, yeah, I think
he has a lot of good defensive and offensive options on his
right. Yeah, I think it's
squad
definitely
this
scary.
season.
It's definitely scary.
A lot
Yeah.
of mons that have a lot of options too, which is really cool.
Mhm. Yeah. A lot of variety in sets he can run. So yeah, then I put myself at first. I don't really want to say too much. I feel a little weird defending myself as number one, but you know, I did beat a higher ranked team in Vits. It was close, um, but I clutched it out with with Choice Scarf Incineroar.
Oh yeah,
Um, and I beat Draco pretty handily, who was coming off of a big win over a pretty big win over Keg. So I thought that, you know, might as well put
yeah,
myself
just a
first.
really good start, honestly.
Yeah, like, and so early in the season, it's tough to differentiate between the top teams, the middle teams, and the bottom teams. And you know, some of these bottom teams can get
Yeah,
their
you kind of just have those three groups. Like we
yeah,
basically agree on the top five or so teams, and then the
hmm
middle ones, and then the bottom five.
right. It's yeah, it's super
Just
close. So
between those classes, I guess you could say it's is where it's kind of iffy at
right,
first
right, for sure. So yeah, and then we have this
for
breakdown
your
of
viewing pleasure.
yes, nice, easy way of seeing all of the picks just right there on one screen.
Probably could have made it a little prettier, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next week. We got plenty more weeks to do this, so
we got a PowerPoint. Someone
yeah.
make a PowerPoint that'll look better than this.
You know, I'm not a PowerPoint expert, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. Um, if we hit 20,000 likes, we'll do this again next week.